Have you ever believed you were eating healthy, only to find your blood pressure creeping up your ankles swelling, or your energy fading away for no clear reason? What if I told you that some of the foods sitting in your kitchen right now, the ones you trust, the ones you think are safe, are secretly straining your kidneys every single day? The truth is, kidney disease rarely shouts. It creeps in silently, and by the time symptoms appear, the damage is already advanced. That's why this conversation is urgent. Ignoring it could cost you not just years of health, but your independence. But here's the good news. Once you know what to avoid, you can take back control. I'm Dr. Johnny, and today I'll show you 3 everyday food habits that may be quietly pushing your kidneys toward failure. More importantly, I'll share the simple swaps and choices that can relieve the pressure and give your kidneys the break they've been begging for. Stay with me, because what you discover in the next few minutes could change the way you eat, and might just save your kidneys before it's too late. You already know you should cut back on salt, right? But here's the catch. What if I told you that most of the sodium hurting your kidneys doesn't even taste salty? That's what makes it so dangerous. It sneaks into your meals, hides behind healthy labels, and slowly pushes your blood pressure higher while you think you're doing the right thing. This is where most people get blindsided. Take Maria, one of my patients. She was in her 60s, stage 3 kidney disease, and she swore she was eating healthy. She cooked at home, avoided fast food, and thought she was safe. But she couldn't figure out why her blood pressure was stubbornly high and why her legs kept swelling. The culprit: canned soup. She was eating it 4 nights a week because it felt easy and safe. But when we checked the label together, it told the real story: over 800 milligrams of sodium in just one bowl. That's nearly 40% of her daily limit in one sitting. And like so many others, she never realized that her harmless soup was quietly wrecking her kidneys. This isn't just Maria's story, it's America's story. The average American takes in about 300-400 milligrams of sodium per day. Compare that to the maximum 200-300 recommended by the CDC, or the even lower 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams recommended for people with kidney disease or high blood pressure. Do you see the problem? We're nearly doubling the safe amount without realizing it. And every single day, that excess salt makes your kidneys work overtime, trapping fluid in your body, straining your blood vessels, and setting the stage for heart failure, dialysis, or worse. Think about it. Have you ever had swollen ankles at night or felt short of breath after a salty meal? That's not just discomfort. That's your kidneys waving a red flag, telling you they're drowning in sodium. And yet food companies are experts at keeping you hooked. They market frozen enchiladas, organic soups, or even salad dressings as healthy. But flip the label and you'll see the truth-hidden sodium bombs disguised as everyday food. So how do you fight back? Start small. Grab your glasses, flip every label, and aim for less than 400 milligrams per serving. Look for no salt added or low sodium versions. And when you cook at home, don't fear flavor. Replace the salt with garlic, onion, lemon, fresh herbs, or even a splash of vinegar. That's exactly what Maria did. She swapped her canned soups for homemade veggie soups flavored with garlic and lemon, and in just weeks her blood pressure dropped, her swelling improved, and she felt like herself again. Now let me ask you this. Have you checked the sodium in your favorite healthy snack lately? Drop a comment below and tell me honestly. I promise I read them all. Because awareness is step 1 and change begins with you. But stay with me, because knowing about hidden salt bombs is only the beginning. Your kidneys face another kind of pressure this time, not from what you season your food with, but from what makes up the main portion of your plate. And this next factor might shock you, because it's something most people eat every single day, believing it makes them stronger. But just knowing about salt isn't enough, because there's another hidden danger, one that doesn't hide in labels, but sits right in the center of your meal. And it could be breaking your kidneys down even faster. Protein is powerful. It builds muscle, fuels recovery, and gives you strength. But here's the twist that most people don't realize. When it comes to your kidneys, too much animal protein can actually do the opposite of what you intend. Instead of building you up, it can quietly break your kidneys down. Let me tell you about David. He was in his early 50s, active, dedicated, and determined to stay strong as he aged. Every day was a routine: eggs for breakfast, grilled chicken for lunch, steak for dinner, and a protein shake after the gym. On the outside, he looked like the picture of health. But when we checked his labs, his GFR, the number that measures kidney function, was sliding down faster than expected. He couldn't understand it. He was eating clean, right? The problem was that his kidneys were drowning in protein overload. Here's the science. High animal protein diets increase what we call glomerular pressure and hyperfiltration. Imagine your kidneys like coffee filters. The more animal protein you pour through them, the harder they have to work, the faster the filter clogs, and the sooner it tears. That constant strain can speed up kidney decline, especially if you already have early-stage kidney disease or high blood pressure. And it's not just the meat. Protein powders especially come loaded with additives. Many of them contain phosphorus-based preservatives ingredients that your kidneys struggle to get rid of. Over time, phosphorus can build up, weaken your bones, and push your kidneys closer to failure. Yet the labels make them look healthy, marketed as pure fuel for fitness. Think about how common this is. How many times have you heard someone say, "I'm trying to bulk up, so I'm adding more chicken and protein shakes to my diet"? It sounds good on the surface. But if your kidneys are already under pressure, doubling down on animal protein can be the very thing that pushes them over the edge. When I explained this to David, he was shocked. But here's the hopeful part. We didn't take away all his favorite foods. We just made a shift. Instead of animal protein 3 times a day, we swapped 2 or 3 meals each week for plant-based proteins, lentils, beans, tofu, and quinoa. These foods still gave him the protein he needed, but they were lighter on his kidneys. Within months, his GFR stabilized, his numbers stopped crashing, and he still hit his strength goals at the gym. That's the power of balance. Now let me ask you, have you ever thought that eating more meat or protein shakes was the only way to stay strong? You're not alone. Drop a yes in the comments if that's been you, because I want to know how many of you have fallen into the same trap as David. Here's the bottom line. You don't have to go vegan. You don't have to give up steak forever. But easing up on heavy animal protein and mixing in plant-based sources can give your kidneys relief they desperately need. And trust me, your body will thank you not just now, but for decades to come. But hold on, because we're not done yet. Salt and protein are major players, but there's another surprising trap that catches people off guard. It's not in your dinner plate, it's in your morning blender. And while it's packed with superfoods, antioxidants, and vitamins for the wrong person, it can trigger a health crisis you don't see coming. And here's the kicker. What if that healthy smoothie you drink every morning is quietly setting your kidneys up for failure? Stay with me, because the truth about smoothies will surprise you more than anything else we've covered so far. Smoothies. They're colorful, convenient, and marketed as the ultimate symbol of health. A handful of spinach, a banana, some avocado, maybe a splash of pomegranate juice. It looks like pure goodness in a glass. But here's the twist. If your kidneys aren't filtering properly, those same smoothies can quickly turn from a health booster into a silent danger. I'll never forget Tasha. She was in her late 40s with stage 5 kidney disease, and like many people, she wanted to eat better. Inspired by a wellness influencer online, she started making smoothies every morning. They looked beautiful, deep red from pomegranate sweetened with bananas and dates packed with spinach and avocado. She thought she was doing everything right, but when we checked her labs, her potassium had spiked to 6.2. That's dangerously high. We had to start her on medication immediately just to bring it down. And here's what scared her most. She felt fine. No warning signs, no pain. That's the cruel trick of potassium overload. It builds silently until suddenly your heart rhythm is off or your muscles give out. Let's break down the science. Potassium is essential. It keeps your nerves firing, your muscles contracting, and your heart beating steadily. But in chronic kidney disease, your body's ability to flush out potassium drops. Instead of leaving through your urine, potassium stays in your bloodstream. High potassium, what we call hyperkalemia, can cause irregular heartbeats, weakness, and in severe cases, sudden cardiac arrest. And here's the catch. The very foods celebrated as superfoods, bananas, oranges, spinach, avocados, dried fruits, pomegranate juice are all extremely high in potassium. Healthy for most people, but dangerous for kidneys that are struggling. Now, before you panic, here's the good news. Not everyone with kidney disease has to avoid smoothies. If your kidney function is only mildly reduced, your doctor may still encourage fresh fruit. But if you're stage 3B or higher, this is where caution matters. The goal isn't to cut fruit out of your life, it's to make smart swaps. That's what Tasha did. We reworked her smoothie routine. Instead of loading up on potassium-heavy ingredients, she switched to frozen berries, crisp apples, and unsweetened almond milk. The flavor was still rich, the antioxidants still powerful, but without the potassium overload. Within weeks, her potassium stabilized, and she felt safe again, enjoying her morning ritual. So let me ask you, have you ever made one of those green smoothies with half an avocado and 2 bananas thinking it was the healthiest choice you could make? If you have kidney issues, that habit might be doing the exact opposite of what you want. Drop a comment and tell me what your go-to smoothie ingredients are. I'll be checking to see how many of you are in the potassium danger zone. Here's what matters most. Food isn't the enemy. Even with kidney disease, you can still enjoy smoothies. You just have to be strategic. Stick with lower potassium fruits like blueberries, strawberries, or pears. Choose almond or rice milk over dairy. And always check with your doctor or dietitian if you're not sure. And here's the bigger picture. We've talked about hidden salt bombs, heavy animal protein, and now the smoothie trap. 3 everyday habits that look normal, even healthy, but quietly wear down your kidneys. You see how tricky this is? That's why awareness is your greatest weapon. But don't go anywhere yet, because knowing the 3 dangers is just the beginning. The way you bring them together, the way you make changes day by day, could be the difference between protecting your kidneys for years or facing dialysis sooner than you ever imagined. And in the next part, I'll tie it all together and show you the hope that's waiting for you. So now you've seen it. The truth about those hidden salt bombs, the overload of animal protein, and the smoothie trap that can silently push your kidneys toward failure. And maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed, wondering, where do I even start? How can I change years of habits? Let me tell you something important. Every single step counts. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. If you're someone who has struggled with swelling in your legs, high blood pressure that just won't come down, or fatigue you can't explain, then you know how frustrating it feels to search for answers. But the fact that you're here watching this video means you're already doing something powerful. You're paying attention. That's the first victory, and I want you to give yourself credit for it. Here's my advice. Start small. Tonight, when you open your pantry, take 1 moment to check a label. Swap out that high-sodium soup for a homemade version, even just once this week. When you plan your meals, try 1 dinner where beans or lentils replace meat. And if you love your smoothies, don't give them up. Just reimagine them with berries, apples, and almond milk instead of potassium-loaded ingredients. Tiny changes repeated consistently create massive protection for your kidneys. I've seen it in my clinic, patient after patient, and I know you can do it too. Now let's talk about staying connected. Kidney health isn't something you manage once, it's a journey. And the best way to stay on track is to surround yourself with knowledge, support, and reminders. That's why I encourage you right now, save this video so you can come back whenever you need a refresher. Hit that subscribe button, because I post new content to guide you step by step through the challenges of kidney health. And turn on the notifications so you never miss a tip, a recipe, or a life-saving insight. I don't want you to go through this alone. Together we can build a community that protects our kidneys one choice at a time. And here's the hopeful part. Kidney disease is not a one-way road to dialysis. With the right awareness and daily habits, you can slow it down, sometimes even stop it from getting worse. I've seen patients who thought their future was written in stone completely change their trajectory by making small, steady shifts. And if they can do it, you can too. Imagine a life where you feel stronger, your blood pressure is under control, your energy returns, and you know that you're protecting your independence for years to come. That life is possible, and it starts with the decisions you make today. So take a deep breath. You've learned a lot. Don't let it overwhelm you. Let it empower you. Make 1 small change tonight. Share this video with a friend or family member who needs it. And most importantly, remember that your kidneys are worth protecting, because when they stay strong, the rest of your body has the foundation it needs to thrive. This is Dr. Johnny reminding you that the journey to better kidney health is not about perfection, but about progress. Save this video, subscribe for more, and keep moving forward with hope, because your best years are still ahead, and your kidneys deserve every chance to carry you there.